I've used Bilt Hamber Autobalm for 15 years, but why? Well, I'll explain all and perhaps show you why it might be just the product you've been looking for. Hello and welcome back to the Golf Diaries. My name's Mark, and if you're into all things VW and detailing, then hopefully you're in the right place. So today I'm going to do the final of my Bilt Hamber series. It's something that's been requested by you, so that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to give you the content that hopefully you find of use. So this is going to be the last Bilt Hamber product that I showcase that I've been using for many years. In this case, 15 years. Autobalm. So I'm going to tell you all about it, why I use it, how I use it, and perhaps at the end of the video give you a few usage scenarios that might work for you too. So let's kick things off by discussing what Autobalm is. So just give you a close-up of that. Now this is the old container. I do have a new branding container in the cupboard behind the camera, but I thought, no, actually I'll show you this one because it lasts forever, and it kind of proves that I've been using this for a long time because they changed the branding several years ago now, but it does last an awful long time. So this is a bit of a classic. So this featured quite heavily in my Bilt Hamber rust proofing video, and I'll put a link to that down below. That has proved quite popular, and with very good reason. It's a bit of a goat. This is the product that brought me to Bilt Hamber in the first place 15 years ago. I'm just looking down at my notes just to make sure I don't miss anything. You know the score by now. I can't remember anything. You know, this is just a hat rack. It's nothing else. So, you know, forgive me. So basically, what is it? So it's an anti-corrosion high gloss protectant. It's not a sealant. It's not a wax. In fact, it's pretty hard to classify it as anything other than a protectant. Its party piece is very much its anti-corrosion capability, but also it does finish down to a really deep gloss. It also has quite a lot of fillers in it, so it's good for paintwork that's not perhaps perfect, certainly for something like this, if this wasn't going to have a correction, which it is. But yeah, for a daily driver or something like that, that really does make it look great for very little effort, and I'll go into the application process very shortly. So basically you can use this not just on paintwork, you can also use it on chrome work, on bare metal, on alloys, and the place I use this most of all is on my Land Rover Defender, the rear cross member, the kind of bit that looks like a steel bumper at the back of Land Rover Defenders near the tow bar. Normally they're brown because they just rust, they're ridiculous, it's just steel with very thin paint on. I've been using this since I got my Defender 6 years ago. The vehicle is now 11 years old and there is not a spot of brown on that rear cross member. This is what does it. So how does it do it? Well, again, looking down at my notes because memory like a sieve. So basically, it's a combination of rust and corrosion inhibiting molecules, and the way it works, according to Bilt Hamber, we all know Bilt Hamber are very much into their science-led products, is the molecules kind of interlock and they kind of fill the capillary pores of the paint. That all sounds very posh, but basically it just properly seals the pores in the paint. The downside of that is that when you're applying it to neglected paintwork, the finish sometimes looks a little bit patchy. And again, we'll go into the process of putting it on shortly. And that's purely because some of the pores are filling quicker than other pores, so you're getting an uneven surface. And of course that refracts the light in different ways, and you get that kind of dark kind of patches appear in the paintwork. You just give it another coat, job done, goes away. I've done it, not on this, but on an old car, and it works an absolute treat. So it's a non-abrasive product, but as I said, it does have a lot of fillers, so you can kind of use this as an all-in-one if you so wish. In terms of durability, well, 15 years, I think I can safely say, I'm qualified to say how durable it is, and I can certainly see 3 months out of this. Some people say they can see up to 6. Maybe I could if I wanted to leave it till 6, but I like my detailing, so after 3 months and I start to see it kind of drop off, I do change it. But I think, you know, it's still got life left in it at 3 months, so you probably could get 4 or 5 months out of it, but 6 I think might be pushing it. But it is really easy to put on, so no real biggie. Now, after the application process, I will show you its water behavior characteristics. And I probably shouldn't say any more right now because it'll spoil it for you, but it's not a beader. That's all I'll say. If you like your beading, then this is not really the product for you. This is a product for people who want the maximum corrosion protection on their cars. Enough talking. I hear you crying through the screen. Shut up, man. Get on and show us how to put it on. So I will do. So I will just reposition the camera and we'll get to work on the Rivage bonnet. Now, if you watched my recent Bilt Hamber Cleanser Polish video, you'll know that there's two squares on the bonnet, one which was machine polished with a cleanser polish, one which was hand polished with cleanser polish. They're still there. So this is kind of the day after, the night before. So they're still there. And so I'll show you how this applies over cleanser polish. However, I will also show you on a piece to the left of it, of the bonnet, how it applies to bare paintwork with no polishing whatsoever. Let's see. We'll find out together if you can actually tell the difference. You know, we like to do things live with you right here. In terms of how you apply it, it's dead easy, and I'll go into more detail as we do it, but basically you do use a damp applicator, and then it's just very, very little product, very thinly spread. Wipe it off. Couldn't be easier. So, as I said, shut up, Mark, get on, show the guys how to do it. So, just as a reminder, that is the machine polished square. You can just about see the outline from where I took the tape off. Haven't bothered getting rid of the residue so you can still see it. Over here we've got the square that was hand polished, and then I'll also apply it over here where it hasn't had any polishing at all. Now, I'm not sure it's going to pick up on camera, but down there's an awful lot of marring. I think you can just about see that, can't you? Kind of where running along where my finger is there. So it'll be interesting to see just how good a job it does filling all by itself. But yeah, that's the plan. Let's crack on. Right, so let us begin. So I'm just using a normal sponge applicator. I prefer sponge applicators for Autobalm over a microfiber applicator, just simply because you want a really thin layer on here, really thin application of the product. And I just find with the sponge, you can do it a little bit better than you can with the microfiber. So product doesn't get caught up in the tiny fibers and so on. So as I said, it wants to be wet. So we just kind of spray that on there. It doesn't need to be absolutely wet through, just rub it in. If you can see beads on there when you're finished, I mean, you've put too much on. It is just damp. So you have to take my word for it, but you saw how much water I put on there, not a lot. So enter the Autobalm. Now, warning, it smells disgusting. That's very subjective, I know, but it basically smells like you're putting your nose in a fuel tank. Don't do that. Don't do that. I am not saying do that. For goodness sake, don't do that. But if you ever have, then that's what it smells like. But anyway, I digress. So you just put a tiny, tiny slither of the product on. Very tiny. So you can see there, very little. It's a slightly odd colour, but there you go. And then you just go back and forth. It's the water actually helps spread the product, and that's the reason you dampen the applicator pad. And you just back and forth. Now, little tip, and a little tip that I got directly from Bilt Hamber, and it's also on their website, but I was told this by the guys at Bilt Hamber. When you're doing a bonnet or a roof or whatever, not the Rivage roof, that'd be silly, it's convertible, don't go there. But on a normal roof, anything that's flat surface, then go back and forth. If you're doing the side of the car, go up and down. So yeah, I'm doing that just so you can see up and down. Dear. But anyway, I don't know why, but apparently if you do that, it actually does give a better finish. And I have to say, having tried it and being the contrary person I am, I decided to do it the opposite way and do that on a bonnet and that on the and that on the side. It is true. Doing it this way works far, far better. So on a bonnet, back and forth, on a side panel, up and down. Right, so that's the machine polish side done. So again, we just a tiny bit more. Very, very tiny. I mean, actually I probably need a little bit more than that. So very tiny. And now we'll do the hand polished side. Now make sure the pad doesn't dry out, because then you will start to struggle to spread it. Now, in places, this is a little bit too thick. I mean, you should really do a slightly bigger area than this. But as I've said before, say as I, what is it? Say as I say and not as I do. Oh, I don't know. I give up. Parenting 101 there, gone out the window. So there you go. That's machine, that's hand. And then finally, you didn't know I could drag out putting a product on a car this much. Oh, you probably did actually. And then finally, over the bit over here that has got no polish on whatsoever. So again, back and forth, back and forth. Quite easy. Now again, I actually think that's on a little bit too thick, if I'm being brutally honest. But it is what it is. If I put it on really, really thin, you probably wouldn't be able to see it. So that's probably no bad thing. In fact, I've just realised you can't actually see what I've just put on the, there you go. So that's what I've obviously just done on the unpolished surface. So let's just bring you back there. It ain't Spielberg, put it like that, it ain't Spielberg. Right, so now we're just gonna leave it a couple of minutes just for this to dry. Typical normal swipe test, still a little bit greasy. So I'm gonna shut up and fast forward to the drying bit. We are back. What was 2 minutes for me is a mere second for you. That's what I say to my wife all the time, but there you go. So here we go with removal. It should come off nice and easily. Now, it is doing. That's good, otherwise I'd have made myself look very silly then, wouldn't I really? Having said that, there's just a couple of bits, maybe I put it on a little bit too thick. When you're buffing Autobalm off, do turn the cloth regularly because it does kind of clog up, you know, quite quickly. So there you go. It actually, I will say, user error. This is a fairly long pile. This is a rag company platinum pluffle. Love this cloth, absolutely love this cloth, but I actually find removing this is better with a short pile cloth. So as I said, do as I say, don't do as I do. But no, I mean this does come off quite nicely, but again, just turn the cloth fairly regularly so that it doesn't start to get clogged up. And now this one isn't coming off particularly well. And I think I did put it on too thick. So again, I'm happy to admit when I do something wrong. And yeah, I just put that on too thick. So that is on me. That is on me entirely. So there you go. That's that. And then we'll just move you across slightly. There you go. And we'll remove it off the... And that's how easy it should come off. I mean, being brutally honest, I mean, that's come off an absolute dream. So yeah, I mean, that's how it normally comes off. So pretend that bit didn't happen. So there you go. Right, what I'm gonna do now, yeah, I definitely put it on too thick here because I'm still removing it now. What I'm gonna do now is obviously move the camera across so you can see, hopefully, what I can see. This was the machine polished area. The camera does this weird thing where it just makes everything look really dark. So yeah, hopefully you can see. So this is the machine polish area. This is the hand polished area. And then over here, we have the bit that wasn't polished at all. Now, at the start, you would have noticed I pointed out that there was some marring on here. And that's still there. I mean, it's not a miracle workout. It's only had one coat of Autobalm. But you can see that the marring is visibly reduced. You know, and this hasn't been polished before. This was just bare paint. So this is just going straight to paint. So if you're doing a daily driver and you haven't got time to do the whole polishing, you know, carry on, then you could go straight to paint with this and it would get really good results. I mean, that's a really deep mark there. So there's no way it was going to fill that. But I have to say, from one quick coat, that's pretty impressive. Over here, you can just about pick up the outline here of the hand polished bit. It's really rather good. I mean, that mark is quite deep, but it's definitely kicked it on a little bit from just the polishing stage. That's some bird etching just there, which is in the clear coat. So I mean, I am going to compound all of this anyway. I mean, this is just for demonstration purposes. But you can see that actually, again, the marring has been visibly reduced. Now this one over here that had the machine polishing on, Come on, camera. There you go. We got there eventually. So you can just about see the outline here. I probably should have put the tape back on, really, shouldn't it? It would have been a bit easier. As I said, not Spielberg. So here we go. We can come up here and you can just about see the marring across here. But that, again, is really quite impressive, the way that has added an awful lot of filler into those marring marks. It really is quite impressive, you know. And I mean, I've been using this for a long time. It's the first time I've used it on this bonnet, so obviously it being a dark colour and with it being so badly marred, you know, this was a bit of a test for it. But I have to say, and I'm not surprised, I've used this product a long time, there is nothing to dislike about what that has done. That has done a fantastic job. And okay, idiot here, put way too much on this panel here, and it was a bit of a pain to remove, but you saw from the other two, dead easy to remove. So yeah, just pretend that bit didn't happen. That's completely user error. I'm an idiot, I know it. You don't need to agree. If you want to agree, you can do. Just comment down below. I'm thick-skinned, I don't get easily offended. So anyway, there you go. Let's sit down, let's talk about Autobalm a bit more and how perhaps it might be something worth considering for you. How could I forget? You want to see the water, don't you? Okay, I did say I was going to do this, so I will do this. So just take this panel here. And this obviously is a bit of a spray as opposed to a stream of water, so we're not going to get any major sheeting action going on today. But I mean, you can see it's not bad. It's not a beader. I mean, it's definitely not a beader. Now bear in mind, you know, this was not exactly a running stream of water. I mean, it's kind of sheeting off slowly. Reality, when you kind of put a hose pipe on it or it's raining on it, it does come off a little bit quicker than that. But I mean, you can see, I mean, actually that's the bit that hasn't had anything done. It was clean, but it had nothing on it in terms of protection. This is where I've been with the Autobalm. So again, not the greatest demonstration because I don't have a hose pipe in the garage, funnily enough. But there you go. So it's not a beader. I can't stress that enough. If beads are important to you, then yeah, go elsewhere. This is definitely not a beader. So there you have it. Bilt Hamber Autobalm. It might be the old packaging, but the performance is just as good as it ever has been. Now, I'm not sure whether the finish that gives has come across particularly well on camera, and I won't know until I do the editing. But what I would say is, you know, one of the things I love about this is the finish it gives. It's somewhere between a sealant and a wax. It's hard to describe. If you've ever used something like Dodo Juice Supernatural Hybrid, or any of the other kind of hybrid type wax sealants out there on the market, it's very similar to that. It's got the kind of glossiness and sharpness of a sealant, and it's got a little bit of warmth and depth of a wax. So it's a really, really nice finish. I would have no issue putting this on a show car, genuinely. But yeah, why do I use it? Why do I rave about it so much? Well, for me, the biggest thing, even bigger than the way it looks, is the way it protects. As I said at the outset, it has kept that Defender cross member from going brown, unlike pretty much every other Defender cross member I've seen out there. So yeah, for me, that proves that it works. There's also been on the Defender, the bonnet on the Defender that I have has got a steel bonnet, and they rust really badly if you allow them to. Now it's got a nasty stone chip, just right on the front leading edge of the bonnet, and you know, I just haven't had a chance to get round to fix it. That stone chip has been there for 3 years. It's really bad. I'm quite embarrassed by that, but it hasn't got any worse. It hasn't spread, it hasn't developed, and that's because I whacked it with this, and every few months I whack it with this. It's ideal for stone chips. It just stops that stone chip spreading. That takes some saying. Stone chip spreading. It stops it spreading and getting worse. So again, really easy fix to protect your car until you get round to do the job properly. it lasts reasonably well. It lasts 3 months. On this thing, if I use it on this in future, it's indoors, so it'll last a lot longer than probably 6 months. It just works really, really well. So for me, the protection qualities of this, the great looks, the filling ability, you know, on a daily driver, certainly on the Defender that I don't want to keep polishing because it's got such thin paint, is really, really beneficial. It's great value too. I mean, £19 I think it is for a tub this size, and I mean you know, this has lasted me years, seriously, and you know, the cross member on the Defender is a fair old lump of metal, and the Defender itself is a fair old lump of metal. So yeah, it certainly does go a very long way, and so yeah, good value. So this was the first Bilt Hamber product that I ever bought, and it got me on the Bilt Hamber train, so to speak, and has turned me into the fanboy that I unashamedly am now. You asked for this, for me to go through the video, sorry, to go through the products that I use most regularly from Bilt Hamber, so that's what I'm doing. We will move on to other products, other brands here on out. But the important question, is it right for you? Well, let's discuss. So if you have an older vehicle, if you have a vehicle that perhaps has a lot of exposed metal, if you have particularly delicate alloy wheels, if you have something like the Defender that's got steel and hardly any paint over the top of it to protect it, then this is absolutely perfect for you. It looks great, it protects. I would say that, you know, I've got nothing to base this on other than the research that's been done independently and by Bilt Hamber and by various other people that have used this over the years, and personal experience using it on an absolute rust bucket, which is the Defender, that this is the most anti-corrosive or rust prohibitive sealant you can put on the paint, you can put on that metal. That sounds a very big claim, but trust me, I know for a fact, having been a Defender owner for 17 years, if you don't absolutely find a product that kills rust dead, you're not going to have a car very long, certainly not a car that's looking very good. So it works. So if that's you, then definitely I would consider this. If you have a daily driver that you like to keep looking its best, but you don't have the time to go out there and polish it and so on a regular basis, then again, this could be an option for you too. You saw how easy it is to apply. You can whip around a car really quickly. It fills in a few marring marks and swirls, and it'll protect your car for the 3 to 6 months that it's on there. So yeah, absolutely, as a potential all-in-one, I don't really want to call it an all-in-one because it has no abrasives, but it does clean, then yeah, maybe this is a product for a daily driver. If you like beading though, then it's not for you. It really disappoints on the beading front. But you know what? I would take a protected car over a car with lots of beads any day of the week. Beads look cool, they look great, they look brilliant on Instagram. But the reality is, you know, they can also leave lots of dirty marks all over your car when they dry out. And I'm more concerned with what a product does to protect your car. And again, this does that really, really well. So in summary, it cleans, it fills, it masks, it leaves a really lovely, sharp but deep finish. It lasts 3 to 6 months. It's good value for money, and I would put my reputation, not as that's particularly worth a lot, but I will put my reputation on the line and say you will not find a better protective product on the market today. That is coming from 17 years of trying to keep rust away from the biggest rust bucket on the roads, a Land Rover Defender. So take it from me, it works. But as with anything, and you know, we talk about on this channel, this is a tool. That's all it is. It's a tool to put in your arsenal to bring out for particular jobs. So if this is a tool that you think you need, then definitely give it a go. You won't be disappointed. It is a goat. It is a classic. I love it. I'm going to shut up because I'm getting tired. Do you feel sorry for me? Well, you know, it is kind of 10 to 11 at night and I'm sat in my garage. So on that note, I am going to leave you, bid you farewell until next time. Take care, stay safe. Bye for now.